Oh, I accidentally hit the stop streaming button. Luckily, I recovered quickly. Whoops. So it is Monday. And I had a wild and crazy weekend off. Oh, okay. 1 second. There we go. Okay. I love having husband creature downstairs because he's like, "Hey, you're too quiet," which we all know is not the truth. So I had a wild and crazy weekend. I have won the battle of the dryer. It only took 2.5, 3 weeks to combine the time. Now I'm so glad that I didn't have to buy more parts for the damn thing, and I replaced a couple of parts that truly needed to be replaced. But at the same time, ah, it got all kinds of lint pulled out of it. Lint pulled out of places that I know you could get lint. But and I've been gearing up for the night fair in 2 weeks, and I signed up to do some lifeguarding. So I have set my June goal for Buffalo Woman at 97%. Will I Will I get there? I'm really hoping so because in May I was super busy too, and I managed to get from 91 to 94. So I think I can get to 97. But with me saying with me lifeguarding, there's going to be some stream schedule changes. So I gotta reach out to the person I'm lifeguarding for and get that all straightened out. That's a after the stream kind of thing. Oh my goodness. I did my rollout, so I messed up all of the bits and pieces of stabilizing my frame. Ugh. So I was looking on Facebook, you know. So I tried to have my business Facebook on my big computer because doing anything on your phone that's like text heavy or graphics heavy is really kind of frustrating. So I have like all of my business stuff on my tower instead of having to log in, log out. And imagine my surprise when I was tagged in a bigger market, which happens to be the night market that I'm going to. But it gave me some really big exposure that I'm hoping for. But on the downside, they focused. I hate to say the downside because it's really where I want to go in life, but they focused on my Ada cloth. So now at this night market, I'm going to at least have a small display of my Ada cloth. Uh, but that also kind of motivates me to whip out. I haven't done any dyeing, and I really enjoy that part. But the multicolor aspect is where I stick, or where I become multicolored. Uh, but I had a really good weekend. I got to husband creature and I got to wrangle some goats. We got to go down to the southern part of the state. That was a awfully long car ride. But you know, I enjoy it. We got to go to a restaurant we only get to go to when we go to the southern part, and I got to be disappointed in other thrift stores because apparently the southern part of the state doesn't do as much like arts and crafts or whatnot. So that was kind of made me a sad panda. But I did get to finish up some things, and I'm hoping I gotta figure out how I'm doing this in Shopify. But I made. I'm gonna pick a color other than red because I learned that red doesn't show up too great on camera because it's just a weird color. Oops. I made roses. I made crocheted roses. This is the multicolor one. But I'm gonna be putting them up in the store. They're really cool. They're I have these ones on sticks, like to hand someone a rose. But I might make ones that you can put in your hair or on a headband or something like that. I don't know. But I got them all assembled. Oh my goodness. Okay. We are finishing up color 160, or we'll be continually working on it because there's still 690 stitches left to go. We might get a chunk of them done. Who knows? I can hope, but I'm working on a weird little spot that I have 4 stitches left on, so I'm not gonna move the camera so you guys can see that, because I will be moving it down into this area soon anyway. I knocked 3 more small colors out of the running, so I only have a few colors left that are less than 100 stitches. So but even looking at the beginning of May and the end of May, there's just been so much progress, because on the Heaven and Earth design site, they do a welcome to the month, and then at the end of the month they're like, hey, post your picture and your progress so you can see what you've done. And I mean, it's a good boost, because looking at the beginning of the month, which I don't remember in my brain, when I'm posting the end of the month, it gives me a good, oh hey, you actually did make progress on this. Okay, so where am I? I'm gonna do the big chunk here. Oh, let's see. Okay, I do have to move the camera a little bit, but this particular area is rather large, so I won't have to move the camera very much, if at all, for this particular street. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna come up there. I'm gonna fix your bathroom fan. That is something I actually know how to do. I do. I am familiar with bathroom fans. I don't even have to Google it. I have fixed and installed bathroom fans. At least one. They're actually, I know way too much about dryers now. Just saying. So the problem that ended up being with the dryer is I hadn't wrapped the pulley properly to create the high level of tension required to hold the door idle switch down. So my dryer has like 4 sensors. 2 fuses, 4 sensors. I managed to find the misfits. And it wasn't even a bad misfit. Actually, it was very popular. Yeah. I have the washer dryer set that husband creature and I have has the function for antibacterial mode. It was the end of the model year when I got them, when they were brand new. They don't have a steam function, but they have antibacterial. So I did not realize that this required 2 fuses. So when the dryer stopped working, I took it apart and immediately saw that the belt was at least the biggest issue. The belt had broken. Knew that. Could not manage to get. I had to order the belt off the internet because couldn't get the right size in any sort of store. But now, and I probably could have now that I know what I was doing wrong. But finding instructional videos for the specific model due to its unique snowflakeness was a pain in the butt. And so when I took it apart and I put it back together and it didn't work, I'm like, what else is broken? I knew the door sensor was not broken, and I knew the control panel was not broken because all of that functioned properly, even. So that knocked down, well, we had taken care of 2 of the sensors and one of the major obvious problem that was broken. More Google foo, more frustration, more looking, and they're like, oh hey, what about the fuses? There are 2 of them, have you checked those? Like, I don't have a multimeter, I think they're called. I need to get one. Whatever it is, I do need to get one because I'm diving into electricity work and it's mildly terrifying. But I was like, okay, so this thing has 2 fuses. One is a $42, $43 fuse, up to $50 depending on if you don't shop around. And one is a $10 fuse. And I was getting ready to hit buy on those when I finally found the model-specific repair videos. And I realized that I had not pulled the belt properly. So I ran it properly, and I put it all together, and there has been lots of cursing over the past couple of weeks every time I have to fix or had to fuss with the dryer. There were several times where it was, husband creature, my arm is stuck. Because dryer drums, like I took the dryer apart. I took the back off. I cleaned out the heating element. I cleaned the lint that had irked its way behind the blower shield. Around the fuse, apparently some lint had gotten that I couldn't get out, but once I got the thing running, it shot the lint out the back, so that was always handy. But I mean, I really wish I had not had to suffer that level of frustration. Oh, I guess I had started doing this area, and I didn't move my way out. So that's good. Oh yeah, I remember. I started this area at the end of last week. I went up last night after I got all the little colors that I wanted to get done. I started up on 160 again, because even though like I filled in a lot of the area, I still have areas where I can't reach, so I have to fill in a little bit more. But so I did the weird little areas that don't take very long, but I have to move around a lot. So yeah, so I reassembled the dryer yesterday. After deep diving on it, like I would, in my spare time, I would look for how to fix the dryer because a new dryer just wasn't in the budget. And I could have swung a new dryer, but need, and want there are 3 different things. I can count today. It's Monday. But so got it all put back together, tested it on the floor. It worked. I was so happy, and then I ran a couple of test runs. I washed some things that I had to clean dog hair with, and so I washed those and got dog hair out of the washing machine and ran the dryer, and it was all good. But oh my goodness, that was most of my weekend. That was the other part, and then husband creature and we tackled some yard work. I tackled one side of my barberry. The other side will be at some point this week. I don't know. It's supposed to rain again, which is always mildly frustrating because with gardening, when you give it water, it grows. And my barberry is really good at its job. But we've managed to get a lot of the yuck out, and our yard doesn't smell like poo, and lots of good things. Lots of good things this week. I got to and I didn't work on Buffalo Woman nearly as much as I had wanted to, but no regrets. And yeah, it's one of the pleasures I get from owning a house. Is well, yes, the downside is I actually have to pay for it. If something breaks and I know how to fix it and I can fix it, I and I can. Like that's not being said that I do. Um, the house needs a lot of finish work. It's functional for the most part, but there's a lot of finish work that needs to be done, and yeah, I'm like, it can wait. I'll get distracted by something. That's pretty much how it goes. I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally do that, and then I get distracted. Rolling Buffalo Woman out this month was really like a she's absolutely filthy. Like I can't wait till to have her all cleaned up and everything like that because the whites will pop, the blues and the grays will all be less dingy. I can't wait till I get her all done and at least through the first round of wash, and then she's gonna get showed off, and then I'm gonna dry clean her. I have lots of people to show her off to, and while I can still roll her up and bring her around, but the dry cleaning people really appreciate that I pre-wash, so I know that none of the colors run. That is something that if you're trusting someone with washing your embroidery, um, make sure. I know it sounds weird, but make sure you wash it before you get it dry cleaned. Oh, I hear the washing machine doing its thing. Kind of a pain in the butt. I leveled it out best I could though. That was another thing that I got to do is so it didn't rock as much. So far, for this week that I know of, I'm gonna be here today. I'm gonna be here tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday are kind of iffy, and Friday will be afternoon if I log on with that. Because and then next week will be weird because that's the week that is the more lifeguarding. They needed me the 6th through the 12th, and I'm I'm going to utilize they're paying me to get my certificate refund recerted so that when they need me in August for 2 weeks, I can I can do that. chicken, and I don't know why. Because I have plenty of it. Oops. I don't know why I was turned around. I don't know why I'm looking back here, but the cookies smell. I had cookies for breakfast because I'm an adult, that's why. And so I forgot to cover up the cookies, and I was getting like the delicious cookie smell. Yeah, the block of color we are currently traveling on. But yeah, definitely it was definitely weird seeing my business on a bigger page, even if even if I had signed up, and yeah, like she took the initiative to go to my website and pull pictures and whatnot. So that was that was kind of cool, even if the website is a hot mess. And again, the website is fully functional. It's just not to my brain desires. Okay. Even here, four, skip one and four. Probably gonna end up being one less. Woo, playtime. Who's my so Restream and OBS like to get into arguments, and my OBS and my Restream interface decided to not talk to each other this morning. So I looked at it and I went, eh, and I'll fix it tomorrow, maybe. Oh, can't. Actually, I did. I meant to. I thought I did. I meant to grab some water or something to bring up here for drinking during stream, but I didn't. Oh well. my least favorite direction, right to left. Even though that would be the way for me to be able to write things without getting ink all over my hands. But and I could, in theory, I could. Oh my goodness. All kinds of fun. Most of the area that I'm working on with this particular section is just back and forth. So that's nice. The new fun is once I finish a color, I go and I find which kit it goes in, which one. Divine Instinct will be taking over as the primary project, because Divine Instinct, when I finish it, can absolutely go into fairs for a competition piece. Call Dance cannot, and once Call Dance is done, Call Dance will go to its new home to be predominantly placed in the office. Ow. Ah! Okay, I just got caught in every piece of string and hit every aspect of the frame I was just touching. But yeah, I love Call Dance. It is a gorgeous, and don't get me wrong, it will make its tours of tee-hee, but Call Dance cannot go up in the county fairs. Couple more rounds. We have to have Gen X as the eldest predominant generation before Call Dance can go around. Or I mean, I could cover up his bits with a smiley face. Leave it to Grandma's imagination. Okay, so 3 of this. Pixie's out in the hallway singing the song over people. It was so funny. Um, when we went down, I had a friend um, come in, check on the dogs, and let them out. And apparently, Pixie had things to say, like not aggressive things, but Pixie, when you let her out of her kennel, she likes to bark and yell at her brother, and this is all your fault. You know, uh, dog politic kind of things. And it was just so funny. She's like, yeah, Pixie had some words for me. It's like, yeah. And my friend, she's like, I had to have the conversation that generally robbers aren't going to let the dog out of their kennel. That just seems like bad practice. Where did my scissors go? Did I? I did. I put them behind me. Whew. But yeah, and her dog, she has a shepherd as well, so she gets it. I generally only have my shepherd friends come over and deal with the shepherds because it's a whole thing. I don't want people thinking that my dogs are big and ferocious, and most people who own shepherds understand that no, that's just their personality. And my friend, her dog Stormy, is a little younger than Pixie. I think Stormy's 5 and Pixie's between the ages of 6 and 8. I'd have to look at her paperwork. What is going on? My phone is oh my goodness. So that that's why my phone is going crazy. So in but Stormy and Pixie have very similar German Shepherd qualities. Like they are very similar, and I wish they could be the bestest best of buddies, but that's just not how either of them roll. Um, okay, let me see. Where am I? Okay, one more that I don't have to count, and then I actually have to start paying attention again. So one of I know I need to get over it, but I don't talk a lot about my business and what I'm doing and my crafting and creating, and I know you guys can stop laughing now. But honestly, I don't talk about it in a business sense very often. I will tell people what I'm doing, absolutely, and I'll show it off. Like, I have no problems with that. But when it comes down to going, oh yeah, I'm making this, and I plan on selling it for this much, like, I have people I trust with that and that conversation and whatnot. But like with my family and friends in person, I always feel uncomfortable because I grew up in an environment where they would always complain about their friends trying to be like, oh well, she's and I'm just pulling because I don't think like, oh, she's into Avon and she keeps trying to get me to buy stuff. That's what I like, and or my mom used to do interior designs, I think was the company name, and she would do that, and she'd always get so discouraged. um and then she'd complain about other people, like, so I always feel awkward even though like I'm super proud of what I do. um but I'm so scared of so scared of the judgment that comes from. But I was talking to my friend, um, and she was like, "Yeah, you should try doing some of the Ren fairs." And honestly, that is on my idea board for potentially next year. I'm trying to figure out logistics right now. What people like to buy, what kind of things people like to buy, what kind of colors, and I know every market is different. So I'm trying to find out. I'm doing the weird things right now. Oh yeah. Um, yes, my shirt. This is my favorite shirt. Um, I love I love Doug. But also it's very true. So many people don't get it though. Like I hate having to explain up to people just so they get the Doug reference. Um, I honestly I've gotten to the point where I was like, have you seen Up? If the answer is yes, and I go, this is Doug, they get it. They're good. They giggle. If they say no, I have not seen Up, I'm like, it is a beautiful movie. You need to see Up. But yeah, I feel that the Ren Fair would be super duper cool. Um, I I'm hoping to nab it for next year if the stars align, as it were. There are a couple of other like at the start of this year, I didn't have a whole lot of like cool stencils that would go for like at your psychic fairs, at your fantasy fairs. I now have those stencils, but at the beginning of the year, I only had a short bit of stencils and I didn't have a whole lot up and going. Now I have stock and a little bit of overhead. So I'm a little bit more confident in doing different kinds of markets. So because I can interchange what I know will sell at the target audience. Um, so I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Like, and I know this sounds weird, but the roses that I showed earlier, I would need to make a lot of those because those would sell at a Ren fair. Those would sell like hotcakes, and especially at the $15 that I'm going to be asking for them, those would sell ridiculously fast. And I'm going to make 10 to test out at the night market and see how fast they go. And I have 5 right now, so I'm halfway there. Um, but I'm gonna see. Like I don't make a lot of one thing just yet. Um, I just have fun right now. Uh, the honestly, the flowers right now are probably the only things that I can honestly say I can replicate, and they'll come out similar. Like if I use the same color, they'll come out looking similar. Like none of my art I can say that about because the art is all very unique. But with the flowers and like the diamond dot stuff, I can replicate that. Let's see, where am I at? Okay, there. So, one less, two, two, and three. Oh yeah, oh yeah. One, two, skip one. Mm, two, skip one, and three. I think my dragons would definitely sell at the Ren fairs. Um, I think a lot of my stencil art would probably sell at the Ren fairs because it's all very lightweight art, and they could display it. That like they could bring it to the Ren fair, and they wouldn't have to like worry about it tearing down the side of their tent or whatnot. Like they could do stuff with it. And there is someone with a big loud thing outside. But I honestly have not done any dye work in the past few weeks, and I think that's what I'm gonna have to. Oh, they're mowing the lawn next door. Yay! Oh, what? Move it over some. Tweaking on the dopamine. Pixie's trying to find a window she can look out of. No, ma'am. You're all set. Pig, enough. Okay. Okay, so I probably could have done this area without too much problem, but. uh. You know, you have good ideas. So, there's three, and two, and another three, one, two, three, and then down one. Ha ha. Two, three. uh. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry if you catch any of the yard noises from. I think my microphone cancels it out pretty well, but it's a weed whacker and it's loud. I'm really hoping they didn't throw the gutters that came off of their house into my yard because they were already in my yard and I tossed them out intentionally into theirs so they stopped putting shit in my bushes. But we'll see. We'll see where it all is after they're all gone. In the summer is when the neighbor feud like really heats up because while they do nothing with their land, they certainly like to encroach on mine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at my microphone. You guys can, yeah. That's how loud it is. Is these lawnmowers are overpowering the noise canceling of my microphone. That's why when I move up one more floor, it's going to be super soundproof. Not only because I want to be able to AC it and have a cooling system in there, but because of shit like this. And husband creature, they use a zero turn on like the same amount of land. They are literally using a zero turn on a strip of land that is um, maybe I want to say a strip of land that is maybe like 6 feet across. Like it's yeah. Mind you, the other side of this particular house, they actually do have a double lot, so I mildly bide my time, and I'm only half joking that if I ever see a for sale sign go up on it, it's gonna become mine. It's only a half joke, uh, because if I'm in a position where I can, it's gonna happen. If not, I'm just gonna hope for really cool neighbors. All the dust, all the dust. I'm glad I am not outside. And not because of the dust, actually. It's more because of the grass the grass pollen that they're stirring up. Okay, let's see. La la la. There's a weird section up in this area that I was debating whether or not I wanted to actually work on that, but no, I'm gonna finish this clump and then I'm gonna tackle the other one. But these little sections are getting smaller and smaller as I. Two, four, five out. Four, five, one down. All the way. I love when I can hear their big machines run over something. I'm like, I wonder what they ran over. Because our little mower makes that sound sometimes too. We have a nice little push mower. It's self-propelled, so if we need to go up a hill, it can walk itself up a hill. Is that the dryer that I hear, husband creature? The familiar click of something hitting a side. It was really hard not having a dryer. I had to wash clothes because I don't have a whole lot of work-ish clothes. So I had to air dry a lot of my stuff, which I have nothing wrong with air drying. It's good in a pinch. But I certainly like the soft, fluffy goodness of a dryer dry. Oh. There's just big trucks everywhere. La 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 la. that. Hello, Jules. I'm truly enjoying the blocks of 10 that I'm that I'm getting here. Or the lines, I should. The last group sesh. Actually, almost at the end of this little section here. Then I get to do some weird sections and or I could go down to another big block, which is probably more likely to happen. I can do the little blocks off stage. Ooh, those warrior worms are very cute. You could always, like, if you have a lot of warrior worms, you can always give them to like the moderator of the group, and they can offer them for distribution. I have to cut another length. I still have 500 stitches of this color left, but it's moving quite fast, seeing as we start off the day with, I think, 700. Yeah, I've only been working on this color today, and we've done 243. Oh, have fun with the housework. You know where I lurk. That's very cute. That is super awesome. Like I love doing stuff like that with mine too. Oh my goodness. Oh, my needle ran away. Keep losing where I am. The last couple lines of the block that I just did. So so hearing that their leaf blower, um, I've been telling husband creature that I need to organize all the tools that I have in order to make like room in our addition and whatnot because there's a lot of storage space in that area, but everything is just such a mess that there's no space. And one of my side quests for the summer is to take everything out and like utilize the spare drywall to put it in places that we don't need a full sheet of drywall. And I'm not really worried about how much taping and mudding because if we can get the walls back up in the house, we can get a little bit better insulation and soundproofing. Which I really can't say right now because of the weed whacking going on in the background. But in taking my own advice, I was looking around and I thought I saw a part of our the shop vac that I'm like, oh hey, another part of the shop vac I can use, because I'm short and I don't like lifting the shop vac. Nope, it was a leaf blower that I did not know I had. So I was like, oh hey, so that is something that I learned that I own today is a leaf blower. Or not today, yesterday. Yesterday while I was doing something else. Okay, let's see. We are done this whole block of color here. We are done. Now, start over. Actually, no. I am going to do the weird bits. I'm going to do the little parts. I've decided. Mhm. 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 I filled in like in the little colors that I did yesterday. I filled in a lot of random white spots on the edge, so it's looking more and more put together. Like there's less random blank spots. Are they still there? Absolutely, but they're less. I think that's like one of the biggest satisfactions I get is as I'm working on a color, closing in closing in the white gaps, even if it's with a slightly different shade of white. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness. Working on weird bits. Keep hitting, keep hitting stuff that I don't mean to be hitting. Mm. Okay, so this next line is filling in the little gaps. Doo da doo da. Oh, and a pig. And a pig, pig, pig. Yes, I know. Tail whip is super effective. There's 3 lines left in this little bit. There's a little bit of a reach. There's the line that I'm working on. There's the one that's beneath it, which is a little bit more. I have to pay attention to it. And then there's the final line, which is more of a walking / leash line, so that I can get some far out stitches, or awkwardly placed stitches of this color, I should say. Like, I had the opportunity to get them while I was working on this bit over here, but it was a down to up kind of option, and this one's more of a lateral. So my personal preference is, if I can walk out to it with other stitches, I'm gonna, instead of having to jump, because I legitimately get caught on the back strings, and sometimes I pull, and it can make a bit of an appearance. I know how to undo unwanted tension in cross stitch, but it doesn't make it any less annoying. It's kind of like when I have a tremor when I'm diamond painting. It's not necessarily a big deal, but it's kind of annoying to have to fix or clean up after. So, 1 and 6. One, 2, 3. to the very end.
My mind is like a hive. The thoughts intrusive are just bees buzzing to stay alive, distracted and elusive. They collide within my mind, and I struggle to think with my thoughts in a bind, and I push to the brink of insanity. Lost in thought, I wander down a path to my inner world. The complexity leads me to ponder, and the depths of my emotions swirl. Though the bees can get overwhelming, the inspiration they mold in their buzzing I find compelling, a reminder of the power I hold. So I embrace the bees within my brain, even when they drive me insane. For in their chaos, I find a refrain of the beauty and complexity of my inner terrain. You will never understand that this is my norm, and I have chosen to embrace the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm.
Time to walk with the stitches. Okay, so 4 less. 2, 3, and 4 left. I might even have just enough string to finish out this walk and then decide the next area I'm going in. belting sucks. I hear it. I feel it. I'll be here. I will be here till noon. Or if you're Jules, I'll be here till 1. Okay. We are done this section here. I gotta figure out where I want to go next. Okay, I'm gonna tackle a weird area. This gray just is weird. 160. Oh. Some of the pollen has made it into the house. My face is itchy. Just have to find where it is on the down here part. But also adjusting so that I can see it. You guys. At the renovation house, they have some big trucks making all kinds of noise today. Now we're really starting to... No, we're not really starting to do anything. I think it goes. Okay, 1, 2, 4. Makes sense. So this section goes down this bumpy thing, and then there's a clump in there, and see if we can get that all filled in. I mean, a lot of the colors I have left are exactly like what I'm doing. It's working down steps and in clumps of color, like that. Clumps of color that move all the way across the page. Like one of the colors I've been intentionally avoiding is by far the largest color I have left, but it's just everywhere on the page. So I'm waiting till I have less space to to be able to just kind of fill in the gaps, which is a little easier. It's one over and then to the end. This little section might move faster than I thought. And sometimes that's the funny bit. Is I when I'm picking out colors for pages, I look at them and I see how much it looks like they take up on a page. Sometimes I am surprised on how many stitches there are of a color on a page, and then others I'm like, I thought this was way more. Oh my goodness. Gotta fight with a crooked stitch. What are they tossing you around, dragon? Oops. That's kind of irresponsible. Like, you should answer your phones. It's time. It's the time of the year where we can't be bothered to step out of our car and knock on the door of the people we're trying to get. We get to sit out front and honk. I love that. I love that so much. Or cell phones. I know, like even when getting a cab these days, I know that they ask for your cell phone number in case you're in an apartment building and they show up and you're not out there. I hate cars sitting outside and just honking to get people's attention. If I use my car horn intentionally, you know I'm either really, really pissed at you, or you've just been ignoring me and I feel it's a final resort. But yeah, most of the time I use my car horn as a sign of you done fucked up. But no. Next door, they will park out. It's gotten better over the years. It has gotten better, I will give it that. They used to lay on the horn. When I was working overnights, they would drive up to the house and just lay on the horn. And that's when I learned about the sound ordinances in the city. Now, I can't complain before 11 p.m. or after 6 a.m. or 6 or 7 a.m. But and I was even a mature adult, and I went and I had a conversation. I went, look, I work overnights. Could you please not honk? And that made them honk more. By the way, doing that made them honk more. So that's when that's when some of the beef started. Like not unintent. Being mean to my neighbors is earned. Like I most of the time I just want to ignore them. They don't exist. Leave me alone. Go on your merry way. But yeah. I mean, a phone call. If you don't want to go up and knock on the door because it's like an apartment complex, next door it's a boarding house, so it's individual rooms. There's no real common area, and knocking on the door might not get you anywhere. But cell phones, text. Um, in all fairness, the person that summoned you, I guess would be the best way to describe it, should be waiting for you and expecting you to be around. So they should be like when you get there, they should be like, "Oh hey," but that's just my personal opinion. And then after they honk, the person goes out and while the car is in the middle of the road, they stand and have a conversation. So it's an annoying. It's all kinds of pet peeves. All kinds of pet peeves. La la la. If I'm and when I go to pick people up, I go into their driveway. I almost always have something to keep me entertained. Like I never travel without at least my phone, so I have something to do. Occasionally, you'll catch me without a form of amusement, but that's when I I'll think of something. Yeah. I used to have a spare like a work in progress in my car just in case I forgot something. Like I would have a car project, but I've gotten pretty good about keeping keeping a project on me or materials for a project. And that's the thing. As long as I have my phone, I too have books. Um, I before I had a smartphone, I always had a book in the car. So I always have something to occupy myself, so that if something happens and I have to wait, I'm not inconvenienced and I'm not upset by it. Mm. Yeah, yeah. I always have something to do. Honestly, that's kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of why I like learned a couple of things in crochet, so that I could have a smaller travel craft. Because while I do have small cross stitch projects, I'm currently trying to get Buffalo Woman done, so I'm not starting any of my other cross stitch projects. Um, the commission that I have, I'm finding is I'm gonna have to take it off its frame or something like that, because I'm finding it's just a smidge too big to carry around. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do with that. Ah. I think. I, nope. Nope. This isn't the color that closes in. Nope. Not the color that closes in the border. Sad panda. So close. So close, though. So close. I just have that left. That's all that's left in the bottom border. And then it'll have a complete close. Oh yeah, I have. Well, I like the bag I currently bring to work because it is kind of like a mobile craft station. But I also have another bag that is also very good at being a mobile craft station that I could swap out, that I think would be a better fit for the frame that I'm using for the commission. Um, but I have I have I have 5 more roses to make, so I'll I'll be focusing on the roses first. My my purse zipper broke, so I need to find something before winter. I feel that people can judge how much downtime you think you're gonna have to, with the size of your bag that you bring. I have a Medtronic bag, but it doesn't have enough separation. And at work, I need to have like little different compartments, so that's why I use the bags that I currently use. did I? I did. Hmm.
A new time has come. The rise of heroes.
So it's funny. I'm right now at 194, 318 for stitch count. To hit 95%, it's 195, 700. So I'm closing in on 95%. I'm gonna hit 95%. And June managed to fill itself up relatively quickly. So I'm aiming for 97%. I don't know if you guys were here for that, but 97% is the goal for the end of June. Hoping, aiming for a July finish. But if it gets done sooner, awesome. If not, she's gonna be in fairs this year. It's gonna happen. But oh my goodness. Okay. So we are pushing in towards the end of stream, and I will be here normal for tomorrow. Wednesday is my Wednesday off. Thursday is I'm not sure yet. Depends on if it's raining or not. I did say I would lifeguard for some kids, so I think it's kind of early personally, but they got some time down there, and well, I'll be there and make sure they don't drown. But so Thursday's on hold, and Friday I'm hoping for an evening stream with Dast. Oh my goodness.
A new time has come.
Let's see.
The rise of heroes.
But we went from 94.15% today. We got up to 94.35, which is actually a pretty good jump. Still working on color 160. Got 374 stitches of that left. I'm gonna pick away at it a little bit, maybe today. I don't know. Depends on what I do after stream. What kind of stuff I have in the all kinds of stuff I gotta get figured out. But I'm gonna still utilize my few minutes left. Next week is gonna be very much up in the air for stream, because that's a whole week that I might be lifeguarding. If it's sunny, if not, then I'll pop on and do some streams. But I think maybe you should consider next week as an off week for stream. If I show up, awesome. If not, it's because I'm making sure kids can swim. But and yeah, geesh. And next weekend I have my night market, so damn. Yeah, the sun, I like the sun. I keep it motivates me and energizes me, so I really like it. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out my next start point, because I need to. There's a clump of gray here that I'm. Oh. 6 away from that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then. I think it might be a little too hot. 3. 6 out, so 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're gonna go 4, 5, 6. There we go. Because mistakes were made in this area here, so I gotta be careful when I'm setting things up, so that I have so that I'm kind of in the right area. I do as well. But after I've done a couple rounds of first course, I do even out. Oh my goodness. Ugh. I probably am not going to be actually. I'll have the swimsuit on underneath, but this time of year, unless someone is actually in trouble, no, no, no. 'Cause I get cold. My arm went loose again. Ugh. There we go. I love that my lurker bark and Pando go off at the same time. That's just kind of funny. Yes, I know people are here. No, yes, I know they're not talking. It's all cool. I like it. Okay. But I'm working on next little area I'm working on goes down this way. There's a whole clump that attacks the Capricorn. I when I fully tan, I mind you, I use SPF 50,000. Um, but when I actually get color, I look relatively good with it because my hair lightens out to red ish. 4, 5, 6. And so then, like, I have that light brown red hair. I have greenish eyes, I guess. And then I have like a nice tan, but I don't get nearly as tan as Husband Creature, bastard. He in the winter is darker than me. Like he has the if he were to be out in the sun, he would be like he would get a really nice rich tan. I actually I have a big floppy hat that I use for lifeguarding. Funny enough, I am going to have to find my lifeguard bag, which is buried in my stuff. I mean, I said last year was going to be my last year, but to be fair, this agency pays a lot of money for my part-time work, and it's really hard. Yeah. Well, when I was little, I got really really tan, and but then apparently the Irish took over. Mhm. La 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 la. Let's see. I'll finish up this line and I'll call it a day. I'll give you the numbers where I got to. So, 390, almost 400. I I I went through a phase where I really wanted to get a nice deep dark tan, but then it took too much time of not doing anything, of sitting still. Like if I'm outside in the sun working, doing stuff and I get tan that way, that's fine. I do use SPF 2 million because the first couple of rounds are always rough, but if I get it organically, I'm fine, but I will not intentionally just lay out in the sun for the sake of laying out in the sun. Um, I have too much go yeah zoomy brain to sit still. Like with gardening, I get sun. I'm gardening. Sun is a secondary effect. When I'm playing with the dogs, I get sun. Secondary thing. uh, and yeah, the secondary sun, getting sun as a secondary kind of benefit is fine. But I SPF my entirety, because I didn't keep this youthful glow for no reason. Um, but with that being said, it is still a nice day out, and the dust seems to have cleared a bit. So I'm gonna stop streaming. I'm gonna go do some stuff, and I will see people tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a fantastic day. And thank you for the gift of your time. And the dogs are already going crazy because I can hear Pixie. But I will see everybody tomorrow morning, and I should have more news about the rest of the week. Love y'all.